Hello and a very warm welcome. Today we are joined by loyal subscriber Kyle. And yeah, this is going to be a special video because we're going to talk about Canada and Montreal. Somehow I forgot about Canada, even though Lewis won his first win. But yeah, Kyle, great to have you on. And with you being so close to the circuit, couldn't be better. So
Exactly, man.
yeah, great to have you on. Canada scheduled for the 17th to the 19th of June. Do you think it's going to go ahead?
In my opinion, no. I'm on the fence about buying my ticket, but Montreal is really close and dear to my heart. I love the F1 track here. It's just that I'm really on the fence. I really don't feel like we're going to go ahead with this race this year.
Yeah, and of course, two Canadian drivers on the grid with Stroll and Latifi. And Latifi has yet to have a home race since he's been in Formula One.
Oh, that's true. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So how close are you actually to the track?
Well, given that I go there pretty much every single weekend in the summer, because that's where I ride my bike leisurely. So it's about 20 minutes drive from here. And the track is really popular with Montrealers. Like, there's people that come from Toronto, or Latifi's from. There's people that come from Vancouver, which is another 600 kilometers or 6,000 kilometers or something. It's across the world, and people come here. So the Canadian Grand Prix is near and dear to people's hearts. So they need to go ahead and go with it.
Yeah, I hope it can happen this year. Do you think it could happen like kind of behind closed doors, like
Oh,
without fans?
I've never seen that option being presented, but I wouldn't mind it, honestly, because yeah, that would be a good compromise, because if we lose the track for a third year in a row, we might lose, diehard fans. So if they can get it to go any which way, I would be down for that.
Yeah, it's a well-supported Grand Prix, especially I like that where Kubica crashed that time, that hairpin, there's a big grandstand there. It's always
Yeah, I
good to
think that's
see.
after the Senna S's, or it's after the second S. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a well-supported Grand Prix, and obviously my driver has got Lewis got a great record round Montreal, so I hope it goes ahead this year because it is a great track. I do like the track.
And it's usually a season defining track, because the guy who's performing well up until that point could lose it because another driver who's found Montreal's GP to be his favorite, or is a better track for him to perform, he usually ends up shining. So if you have a title race where it's neck and neck, and then you go into Montreal and Lewis happens to be on the back foot, watch him perform and watch him pull out some tricks out of the bag, man.
Yeah, yeah. I really hope it goes ahead because it's got a lot of history in Formula One, and we need to be going to tracks like Canada, obviously Japan, Australia as well, which keep getting hit with COVID. So, and it financially for the circuit, it can't be great because there's not a lot of action during the year.
You're right. Yeah. In my opinion, I don't think that we're going to go ahead this year, because I don't see many other countries having as severe lockdown measures as we do. So given that we're 6 months away and we're in a full curfew from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. shut down, it would take it would take a miracle, honestly, to get this race to go ahead.
Really, it's that strict in where you are. Like,
It's funny because from every province in Canada, the measures are being dictated differently, or the governments are allowed to choose how severe or how, lenient they want to be. And Quebec, which is the province where Montreal is located, the racetrack is here. And our government's the only province who's implemented that we have to stay at home between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Whereas, the borders aren't closed, the flights are still flying. So it's like they pick and choose where they want to be strict on the general public. So something like F1, which is just meaning like it's for leisure, I don't think that they'll force it to go ahead. Whereas another country would be like, no, we'll put measures in place so that we do get the race to go. So I doubt it. This track is not it's not as iconic as Japan, as you said. So if Japan doesn't go ahead, why would we?
Yeah, but it seems such a shame, doesn't it? Especially for Latifi, given he's not had a home Grand Prix. And
I'll be welcoming him with open arms from what he did last.
Yeah, I'd like to get your thoughts on him receiving that abuse as well. What did you make of that?
I found that really, really unfair. Like the guy himself, he didn't do anything. It just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And maybe he was having a head full of steam. You know, maybe he was like, I don't know, battling some demons inside of him in the last position of the last race of the last corner when there's a championship battle going on. He didn't need to do what he did, but for him to receive all that backlash is not right.
Yeah, I agree. And what do you make of Lance Stroll? Obviously, people labeled him as a pay driver, but he's proved himself now a bit.
Well, we just heard from that Otmar Safnauer is going to leave Aston Martin.
Yeah,
so now it seems as though the Strolls are standing up on one leg. You know, it doesn't seem viable that they can put up a championship fight. Even though they have Vettel, it doesn't seem like Stroll himself, the father or the son, are talented enough, or if they have enough gusto to be able to muster a good challenge. Because Stroll, even if he's done really well, I think he's won one race up to now. It was Turkey. No, not Turkey last season, but
yeah,
he did win one race.
Turkey.
Yeah, so he got pole. He didn't even win. So until he's proven himself, it's kind of like he's a pay driver. He's going to be in the back of my mind, like, yeah, he could support his teammate, but I don't think he'll ever be the quality driver to be like leading a championship winning team.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So who is your favorite driver? Like Lewis, Stroll, Latifi?
That's a trick question, man. It's Lewis, provided that he comes back this season.
I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back.
Yeah, even that he's been so silent in the media, I feel it wouldn't be right for him to walk away at this point, because there's too much, you know, it kind of like is a self-fulfilling prophecy if he walks away from the sport after coming so close to tying, to beating Michael Schumacher's title. So he has to kind of push away all of that negativity, show that, okay, he's willing to compete one more time, even if he doesn't beat the championship, even if he doesn't win the 8th one, he just has to not bow out while all that pressure's on him. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think he'll come back. He'll win his 8th, and I think he might call it a day then. But yeah, great to get you on the channel finally. It's been great to get you on, and with you being so close to Montreal, what a better way to do a video about Canada. So
absolutely, yeah.
You don't think this Grand Prix is going to go ahead?
That's my opinion. I think that if you talk to the majority of people, they're not going to be as confident as the rest of the tracks. There's already 23 tracks on the calendar, so
yeah,
it's they'll have to push a lot of buttons to get this race to go ahead.
Yeah, and I've just got the calendar up here. We go to Bahrain, Saudi, Australia is meant to be the 3rd race. Obviously, we've not gone there recently. USA, we go to Miami. Then you've got the Monaco, Azerbaijan, Canada. And then Silverstone's after Canada, so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, hopefully we get a Canadian Grand Prix, whether it's with fans or without, because like I say, a lot of history in Formula
Do you think,
1.
if I just asked you quickly, do you think that it's possible that they could do the race behind closed doors here, and then the race in Silverstone would go ahead as normal, and then whenever they get to what was it? So Australia is the 3rd race in the calendar, but if they can do Canada's race behind closed doors, maybe they can also use that initiative to run Australia without any fans, or, you know, they're not going to put Suzuka on there for sure, but that would be good, you know, if they could find a compromise. You think that that would be possible?
Yeah, we saw it a couple of years ago. We couldn't have fans at the Grand Prix, and they managed to do quite a lot without fans. So yeah, I feel it's kind of pivotal to get these Grand Prix on if we can, because Australia again, history, Japan, Canada, even if it's without fans, it's best to have a Grand Prix there as long as it's safe. And but with F1 and their protocols, not many people got COVID last year, apart from Mazepin right at the end. So
But I remember 2 seasons ago, Lewis did catch it, and
yeah,
that was kind of a fright for me because it was right nearing the end of the season, and I didn't feel like he would be able to race in that final race there. So yeah, I'm really hoping that even if it does go ahead without any fans in the stand, that once it's placed itself back on the calendar, it'll be back there for next season. And then, because you can't afford to leave a racetrack like Suzuka and Canada off the calendar for this long.
I feel Canada will always have a place on the F1 calendar because the drivers love it.
Yeah, and it's got lots of history. I mean, Jacques Villeneuve's father is the one that they named the track after, right? So if you have a F1 legend named the track named after an F1 legend, you can't not have F1 at that track anymore. That's why it's never gone to another track in Canada. That's my opinion. It's always going to be in Montreal.
Yeah, and it deserves to be there because, like I say, it's a great track. It's high speed. Make a mistake in the final corner, you're in Wall of Champions.
Champions, yeah.
Yeah, that's how F1 track should be. You make a mistake, you're punished. It's got that old school feel rather than all the runoff areas, which I like that about the old school tracks. So there we have it. Comment down below your thoughts, and thanks for coming on, Kyle. Brilliant to get you on.
My pleasure, man. Anytime, eh?
Yeah, we'll get you on again. Brilliant insight into with you living so close. Brilliant. Thanks for watching, everyone. Adios.